Welcome back to Fairfax Pilates. I'm Brittany. Today's class is our gentle morning stretch for beginners. So this is a great way to start your day. No equipment is needed. So go ahead and get yourself ready and let's begin. We're going to begin in a comfortable seated position. Let's roll the shoulders up and back a couple of times here, just getting things moving and warm. And we're going to take it over for a nice lateral stretch. One hand down and the opposite arm reaches overhead as you laterally flex to the side. Take it easy here, just moving with your breath as we're warming up the body. As we take our lateral stretch this time, perhaps you'd like to rotate down towards the floor so that you get a little bit more into the lower back. Same on the opposite side. We're lifting up, over, and slightly rotating downward. Opening the side body. From here, we're going to get into a 4-point position. So hands under the shoulders, knees below the hips. And let's go through some cat and cows, rounding the spine from tail to top, really like a sequence of beads, and then lengthening from tail to top again. Just moving smooth and rhythmic with your breath, stretching the lower back in particular as you press up. And inhale and open the front of the chest as you extend the spine. Let's go right up in towards a downward dog modified here with bent knees. Can begin pedaling the feet here to stretch the lower leg. As we get started, I do encourage you to keep your knees a little bent. This allows for more mobility in our lower backs. And then you can go ahead and just sink those heels back a little. Now we're gonna keep pedaling there a little bit more, just alternating those feet. Get yourselves into a nice downward dog position, and then we're gonna round our spine as we take our shape. Just warming up those wrists, just taking the body and rounding, and put your body weight over the shoulders and wrists, with the emphasis here really on the mobility of the spine. Now we're really going into that long plank position. And then we lift up through the hips, extending the spine as we weight back over those heels. Tippy toes rounding through the spine, traveling over the hands, and then back up we go. Allowing those heels to drop a little lower towards the earth every time you go back into that downward dog. Let's take it all the way down here into an extension. So we're lowering our lower body, but keeping the chest up. And then go ahead and take your body down towards the ground. We're going to have our forearms parallel the corners of the mat, legs wide, laterally rotated. And start with some breaststroke prep here. So we're pressing into those forearms and lifting the chest off the ground, maintaining an alignment through the cervical spine as we rise. Just keep your gaze on the floor to protect your neck. We inhale to lift and exhale to lower. The arms are going to reach back towards our side body. Notice that palms are facing the sides of your body so that our shoulders are open. Inhale as we reach back, and then exhale to lower down. Fold the hands together under the forehead here, and we're going to rise again, making sure to leave your feet connected to the earth as you lift. Exhale on the way up, and then inhale to lower down. Bend those knees and let them just windshield wiper right and left to mobilize the lower back. Those legs go nice and wide. Arms are reaching forward. Really anchor your entire pelvis down. And then we're going to just reach the arms back, bending our elbows back behind the body, and then reaching the arms forward, superhero position, pulling the hands behind. You reach forward without lowering the chest, and then arms sweep around, palms up as they go up the back. Try to alternate which hand is on top as you continue to move through this routine. This really mobilizes the shoulders here. while we're working all those extensor muscles by just holding that hover position. Inhale, we reach forward, and then lower down. All right, let's go ahead and let those knees sway side to side again. And we're gonna just go ahead and push back and enjoy a nice little spine stretch here. So conscious about really rounding the lower back in particular as you force your spine up toward the ceiling like an angry cat. Just moving through this cat-cow just a few times there with your breath. All right, so we're going to reach up toward the ceiling with our one hand and then thread it underneath. Lay the head and shoulder down briefly and repeat. So just trying to move with our breath here. We inhale as we reach up and we exhale as we thread underneath. 3 times here and then underneath we go. Let's change sides. Reaching this time the left arm up and then threading the arm down, trying to lay the head and shoulders down here to open up the upper thoracic spine. Inhale up and then exhale, we thread and twist the entire body. We're going to come down to our side, stacking the knees like we're in an imaginary formal chair. We're going to use the edge of the mat to align our backs, and we're going to align our shins to the front edge. Reach one arm forward and draw the world's largest circle around, trying to keep your hands connected to the ground the whole way, reaching your hand back towards your hip, and then send the arm back around the way it came. Reaching up and over. Important that we keep the hips and the knees stacked here together to really isolate the upper body only. So the lower body is going to be fixed, and we're just getting these articular movements here through the upper body and particularly the shoulder. And we're going to rotate our upper body just a bit more, again leaving the legs fixed. Try to lay out both elbows wide across the mat so that your shoulders are heavy on the earth. Just breathe and allow the front chest to open. If you're unable to get your elbows all the way down, no worries. Option to extend the top leg to increase more stretch. And just breathe. Go ahead and scooch over so that you're on your backs. We're going to go through some bridging movements here in between. So scoop the tail under and let's rise until we create a straight line from our thigh to our shoulder. Breathe in at the bottom. Exhale, rolling through the imprint as we slowly peel our spine up, and then we return back down to the ground. Exhale, we curl the tail under and rise, and then return back to the mat nice and easy. Let's get those legs up into tabletop, arms wide to sides, and we'll just go through a spinal movement here, our spine twist, leaving the shoulders anchored as we allow our tabletop legs to travel right and left. And let's go through just a few times there, and then we can start with our single leg toe taps. This is great for just building some endurance and warmth in the core. It's important that you keep your low back connected to the ground. You can float your arms above your head for a little bit more warmth and added challenge. It is critical that your low back stay down though. Let's bring our arms forward, our knees stay bent, and let's hug them in towards the chest. A little side to side action just to relax the lower back. Feel that gentle massage on the lower back. I'm going to go ahead and turn over and do that articulation here on the other side. Support the head in the hands. Reach the top hand forward and trace that large circle around. Notice that my palm stays up as I reach back toward my hip. up and around with the shoulder. Lower body retains that tabletop shape, and it is steady, allowing just the upper body to mobilize. This one feels great any time of day, but especially in the morning. Pay attention to whether or not the arms feel the same on the right and the left side. Very often they don't, and it's absolutely okay, but you should pay attention. All right, now we're scooting that right shoulder forward so that we can attempt to lay both elbows flat and just breathe. Encourage more rotation in the thoracic spine. If it feels available to you, you can extend the top leg to encourage more stretch across the hip and the glute. Just breathe here, enjoying that freedom of the mobility in your spine there. All right, we're bringing our feet in line with our sit bones here, and then let's take one leg up. We're gonna pull that leg in towards the upper body and encourage just that little bit of hamstring stretch. And now let's go through our one leg circle, taking the leg up and around. I am not trying to keep my hips super still. Allow mobility here, now bigger. So 3 or so where you're not so crazy big, and then 3 to really let the lower body be loose as you send the leg around. Switching sides, of course, pulling the leg in first and enjoying the stretch. And then we'll move into that one-legged circle, sending the leg out to the side, cross the midline, around and up. Inhale out and exhale around. So 3 where you have more abdominal connection, and then those last 3 really let the pelvis rotate and just be mobile, be functional here. All right, let's bring those knees in towards the chest, a little side to side low back massage here. And then rolling like a ball. So the intent here is to be fluid and smooth, really rounding through the spine forward and back until we come all the way up. So grab the back of the thighs. We're going to scoop through our waist and roll back, and then lift our chest up, extend the upper back. We flex backward, and then we extend up. Let's get those legs out nice and straight, and we're going to reach straight forward. Perhaps you're able to grab the feet wherever you can reach. Go ahead and allow the legs to rotate inward and out, and just feel all the muscles in the hamstring and the backside body. We're going to build ourselves up nice and tall. Couple of large arm circles, always going up and back with our arm circles here to promote healthy, strong posture. Little shoulder shrugs up towards the ears, and then lower back down towards the ground. All right, we're going to reach those arms forward and back. This is a protraction and then retraction. Let's keep the elbows straight here. We don't need to bend our elbows. We're just moving the shoulder blades. Go ahead and reach the body forward, and then nice and tall. Rounding your shape as you reach forward over those feet. And then we're going to lengthen our spine up nice and tall. Reaching forward, that spine stretch forward. Perhaps you can grab your feet. See if you can get most of the hand going down the foot. And just breathe. Lengthen the spine as much as you can there. Kind of move around. Feel that stretch all across the back and the back side of the legs. From here, we're going to change the position and begin to do a little wrist stretching. So on our hands and knees, spread fingers wide directly below shoulders, and simply shift your weight forward and back. Just moving forward and back a few times there, maybe each time going a little more forward and putting more pressure on the wrist itself. Let's go ahead and do the same while the toes are tucked under. stretching just into the fascia of the feet. And then we're going to go ahead and lower ourselves down onto our stomachs in a prone position. We're going to have one arm outstretched. The opposite leg lifts at the same time as the arm. You can rest your head on your opposite hand and forearm, and just concentrating on lifting in unison here, keeping the entire pelvis anchored to the ground as we lift and lower the leg. So once you do about 8 in a parallel alignment, we're going to go a little bit on a 45-degree angle and lift and lower the arm and leg at the same time again. Go ahead and make the change. So we're going straight up and down with the left arm and the right leg here, creating mobility from our large joints, our hips and our shoulders. Straight up and down here. And then we can move a little bit more towards the side and do the same lift and lower on a 45-degree angle. Particularly for the glutes, this travels into our glute medius and works a different part of our muscle. Let's let those feet find each other, knees are wide, and then we're going to do some heel squeeze prone where you're simply driving the heels towards one another without lifting the pelvis, and then you just release the squeeze. The feet don't separate, but the pressure changes. Squeeze the heels together and then release the squeeze. Notice the connection to the glute muscles here. Really driving down. All right, let's take those legs out nice and long, and we're gonna go into a Superman position and right into our swimming, alternating the arm and the legs. We definitely don't want to have any low back discomfort here. Let's make sure that you keep your pubic bone connected to the earth and just lifting and lowering. Go ahead and bring your hands towards the back, palms down, lift the chest for extension. And then we're going to let the legs rest. Do it once more. Inhale, floating the chest up, opening the front body, and then lowering back down. Before we flip over, let's take a scenic route on the way over and turn onto our side here, just supporting the head with the bottom arm and encourage spine rotation. Just open the side body here for a moment. Feels amazing. Enjoy it. And then let's go ahead and alternate here. You've worked nicely this morning. Enjoy all these little stretches that we get in between. Be grateful for your body and how healthy it is. And then we're going to find ourselves on our back, a little core here at the finish. Let's do a little bit of an ab prep. You can have your arms forward or by your head. And we're going to pump in for those 100. So breathing in for 5 count. And then breathing out for 5 count. Inhaling through the nose. And then exhaling through the lips. You want to keep your pelvis neutral or slightly imprinted here, and we're pumping those arms without allowing the rest of the body to move. Hundreds are a perfect example of really stabilizing everything and focusing on what's not moving. Hold it still and then lower yourself back down. Flex forward and let's do lateral bends. So maintaining the upper curl and simply reaching to the right heel, then left, then right, then left. Just stay nice and low. And then slow return back down to the mat. Hug the knees in towards the chest, a little side to side action there. Stretch out your lower back. And then we're gonna just rock our way up. Really take your time rocking up, massaging over the low back. And then let's have a seat like we began. Nice tall body, comfortable seated position. Let's move the neck around just a bit here. Allow the weight of the head to stretch the neck muscles. Couple rolls of the shoulders up and back. Really just stretching the upper back and the neck here as you move your head around, whatever feels nice to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you feel amazing after today's workout. We love that you've joined us today. If you liked our workout, please don't forget to like and subscribe, leave us a comment, maybe even share this video with a friend. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for subscribing to our channel, and we hope you have an amazing day.